What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's time to talk about Cardano and why is Charles Hoskinson upset right now? It's because ADA, Cardano's native token, is not on a very strategic, or not strategic, very, what am I trying to say? I was trying to use a big word. See, that's where you mess up. It's not on a very important list. And we're going to talk about this a little bit. And does it really matter? Is it a big deal? We're going to kind of dive into it. No matter what here, Cardano's had a really nice run, still up 17+% in the last 7 days, up 11% in the last 24 hours. We're going to dive into that story in just a minute, but I do want to kind of give you guys a little historical look here. We had a big dip. And this is just a perfect example of what we talk about all the time in crypto, guys. It looked as if the sky was falling yesterday when everything dipped hard and Cardano went down to 60 cents. But look how it's rebounded all the way back up to 72 cents. At the peak there, I think it actually scratched 80 cents for a minute. But when people are freaking out, look, the smart money was buying back up that dip. And I think, like a lot of other people out there, there's some market manipulation going on, and the big institutions are buying up these dips when we're having these issues with, let's say, Coinbase, for example. You know, there might be something to that. I don't know for sure. We're speculating there. But the bigger point still remains when we find these dips and you have high conviction in your assets, like I do with Cardano, for example, maybe you do too, it's always a good opportunity to look at it big picture, right? Yesterday, that's what happened. We dipped all the way to 60 cents, quickly was bought right back up. Now, this story that I want to get into, kind of interesting. Charles Hoskinson questions why ADA's absence is there from the Grayscale staking fund. Of course, Hoskinson, Cardano founder, had the chance to meet him very quickly last year at ETH Toronto, and it was a great opportunity. But the founder here of Cardano, Hoskinson, recently responded to Grayscale's introduction of the Dynamic Income Fund, or GDIF. And he questioned why Cardano was not on the fund's initial selection of assets. So Grayscale, obviously renowned for its Bitcoin ETF and crypto investment offerings, they've been one of the first big institutional players to the game, unveiled GDIF as its first actively managed fund, aiming to tap into the popular trend of crypto staking. Now, Grayscale had previously had a fund with Cardano in it, and that is why I think there's some confusion here, or not confusion, but why Hoskinson is a little bit upset. And again, we're going to get to the bigger picture here if this really matters in the grand scheme of things. But let's just talk about this GDIF, which again is Grayscale's Dynamic Income Fund, which again is the first actively managed fund. So in here, you've got Aptos. Now, you can also learn about what's in here. You might want to look at some of these assets. Aptos, Celestia, Coinbase staked Ethereum, Cosmos, Near Protocol, Osmosis, Polkadot, Say Network, SEI, and Solana in here. Cardano not in here. Not in here yet. The fund intends to distribute rewards in US dollars on a quarterly basis, providing investors with exposure to multi-asset staking through a single investment vehicle. Now, Hoskinson was very perplexed with the absence of ADA here. The Cardano founder responded to Grayscale's X post about GDIF and wrote, "No ADA? This underscores the significance of Cardano's staking mechanism within the blockchain ecosystem. Cardano operates obviously on a proof of stake consensus, distinguishing itself, like many of these other protocols we just talked about, from Bitcoin, which is proof of work." But with Cardano, token holders have the opportunity to stake their assets like they do on Ethereum, which is also proof of stake now, like they do with all proof of stake networks. In return, stakers receive rewards, obviously, contributed to the network's security and decentralization. However, Grayscale chose not to include Cardano on this list. Now, we mentioned that Cardano is involved in some other Grayscale funds. So this is what kind of made it weird, right? Grayscale has shown significant interest in Cardano in the past by considering the investment option for two of its other funds. As of January 4, 2024, the major fund components of GDLC, which this is the one we've talked about many times on the channel, which is their big cap fund, has Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can see what it makes up here too. Bitcoin 69%, Ethereum 22%, And you've got Sol, XRP, Cardano, and recently included Avalanche on that list. Meanwhile, another fund, GSP PXE, these acronyms are crazy, right? We've got a ton of Solana, even more Cardano at 20%. And then this also includes some Avalanche, Polkadot, Polygon, and Cosmos. So it was kind of weird that Cardano was not listed on this fund. Do I think it's a huge deal? Do I think this changes my opinion on Cardano in this context? No, but it is weird that Grayscale has been very interested in Cardano in the past. And my belief is that in the end, Grayscale and many of the institutions will include and not exclude Cardano because of what's happening, because of the TVL going on with Cardano, because it's the truly decentralized network out there in the smart contract area. Now, I do find it weird. I'm with Hoskinson here, but I don't think it's like a huge make or break thing. And who's to say that Grayscale can't move things around? And they most likely will. They most certainly will. They always do. And when that time comes, we could find Cardano on this new fund, which again is the first actively managed fund, again for this one, GDIF, first actively managed fund, aiming to tap into the popular trend of crypto staking. So they're basically saying, hey, we're going with some of these other cryptos for staking. Maybe this is something that they just excluded for a little while because, you know, they see some of the other networks right now growing. They want to get some different exposure. That could be something too, where Grayscale already has some exposure to Cardano and other funds. I don't think this is an end-all, be-all. And my feelings on Cardano have not changed, guys. I was buying Cardano at 25 cents. I've continued to dollar cost average. I've got a nice position. A top 5 position of mine is in Cardano. And the fact that Grayscale has, you know, included them before tells me that they still feel strongly about Cardano as a prospect, about about Cardano as a smart contract platform. And we'll just have to wait and see if they eventually do add them to the actively managed fund. But I get it. It is kind of weird. And this is why Hoskinson was upset. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Just wanted to bring you up to speed, as always, as we always do right here on the channel, with all the news and information you need to better navigate crypto. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to trade Cardano or any other popular assets, check out XT Algo. Links are down below. It's my trading indicator. We have been firing off tons of momentum up and momentum down signals right now with the volatility in the cryptocurrency market. This indicator is super, super easy to use. Join up today using the discount code in the description of this video. You could start customizing your own alerts for crypto assets so you're ready to make moves when the market's moving. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next video.